All right, this is the drawer that we're going to use for the advanced class. And if we take a look around this project, it looks very similar to the drawer that we did for the beginning class, with the exception of the joint that we're using. Before, we just did a regular rabbet joint right on the end of the front pieces. Now we're going to be using this dado rabbet joint, a combination of the two, or sometimes referred to as a half, 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 because this piece is going down half the thickness and it's going over the same amount, and this is half the thickness as well. So let's just take a closer look. That will maybe help you understand it a little bit better. So if I take this piece and I pull this off here, you'll notice that we've got these dados that are cut in there. So this first line, if I put this back, this first line of this dado, let me get my arrow, sorry, right here, this line that I'm turning blue right there, is 3/4 of an inch in. It's the full width of that board. So 3/4 of an inch in is where that notch is. So we know the board is 3/4, and we're going to take half of that, which is 3/8. So we're going to come over 3/8 of an inch. So we've come over 3/4 to start. We went down 3/8 because that's half the thickness of that board. We came over 3/8 because that's half the thickness of this board. And we came back up to the 3/4 length. Okay, so right now, when you're filling out this piece, it's not really going to matter. What's going to really determine this is when we get to drawing the plywood pieces, or when we lay out our pieces on the plywood, we're going to have all of these joints drawn. It's going to be more critical then to get these in the right spot. But for this point, when you're just filling out the top view measurements, you're going to just fill these out using your fillable sheet that you have available in this document. But I just wanted you to be aware of what we're doing different on these drawers. All right, each one of you should have your own copy of the drawer plan fillable form here. And we have a few different tabs or slides on the side, which you're going to fill out. Up here is where there's instructional video that you're watching now is going to be posted. And then you'll scroll through and you'll see your drawer front. And then you'll have a skinny drawer or a small drawer, not so wide, and then one that's a little bit wider. It really is just about perspective. So if you did all of them small or all of them big, it doesn't really matter. It's just, if you're building a wide cabinet, maybe you want to use the wide one. Let's say you have a project that has several different sized drawers. And so, maybe they're all different widths or different heights, and you need to be able to fill one of these out for each one. So on your computer, if you hit Command D or Control D, depending on what platform or computer you're working on, it's going to duplicate that. And you can see now I have two of them that appeared. You could also right click or control click and click duplicate slide. Either way works. And that way you can fill it out. If you have drawers that are multiple that are the exact same, then over here you're going to change the quantity. So on mine, I'm going to put 2 for this one. And we're going to use this example project that we've been looking at for these other examples here. And we're going to use this side, and I'm going to say there's going to be 2 drawers down here. So I'm going to use these sizes of 37 inches. And that's how wide my project is. So the details at the bottom of the screen down here are some information for you for figuring out your sizes. So 37, we're going to add an inch on, and that would be 38 inches. And then height-wise, we're going to take 18. We're going to add on 1 inch, so that'd be 19. But I want 2 drawers here, so I'm going to divide it in half. That way my 2 drawers come together, and there's going to be just a small gap in between them. So 19 divided by 2 should be 9.5. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to put 9 and 1/2 inches. And undo that so it's a big text. So 38 by 9.5, and I have 2 of them. Okay, that's all I need to do for the drawer front. Now let's take a look at the drawer top view. And again, this is a wider project, so maybe I would use this one down here. And I'm going to go ahead and change my quantity to 2 because my drawers are identical, and I just want to fill this out one time. Again, if your drawers were different, you would maybe make a duplicate or fill out both of these so that you had 2 different sizes. There's also instructions at the bottom of the screen here to help you understand what you need to do to fill out these correctly. Now, if we take a look here, we're going to be an inch smaller than the opening. This box right across here is going to be an inch smaller. And that reason for that is we need a 1/2 inch on each side for the drawer slides to exist in here. If we made it exactly the size of the opening, there wouldn't be room for the drawer slides. So we're going to be an inch smaller. So 37, I'm going to come up here and click where it says size here and put 36 inches. And from my front view up here, I have 38 here. So I'm going to transfer that 38 from my front view down right here. Should be the same size, 38 inches. Because this piece of solid front right here, where it says solid drawer front, is this solid drawer front right here. So this size, this piece of wood, is actually what's attached to the front here. This plywood front is the same size as the back, an inch smaller than the opening. Because remember, the box is going to fit in the opening. The drawer front is going to have a 1/2 inch overlay all the way around. Now we need to figure out the depth of our cabinet, of our drawer box. So that's going to be based off our cabinet. I'm going to click on my other view here, and I've got my side view opened up, and my project is 20 inches deep. And so our drawer should be 2 inches smaller than our project is deep. So if I have a 20-inch drawer, I'm going to put 18 for my overall size. 18 inches. And the reason I'm doing 18, 2 inches smaller, is because if you remember, we're going to have a backing that sits 3/4 of an inch in. So there's a 1/2 inch space, then the 1/4 inch backing. And we don't want our drawer, as we shut the drawer, to hit that backing material. So that's going to be 3/4 of an inch. And then that gives us about an inch to spare. So we make sure our drawer isn't bottomed out or back, hitting the back of the project. So that's why we're going 2 inches shorter. Now I've got my size in here, my overall size, 18 inches. And I'm going to look at how long this is going into this here, this little rabbet that fits into the dado. How much further is that going in on each side? And I can see right here it says 3/8 of an inch. So I'm 3/8 of an inch long there. And it's okay to assume that this is going to be 3/8. It doesn't need to be dimensioned in every spot. We can look here and see that's 3/8. This is going to be 3/8. So 3/8 and 3/8 is 3/4. So 18 minus 3/4, $18 minus 75 cents is 17 1/4 inches. Okay, so 17 1/4 inches is how long the side pieces are going to be. 18 inches is how long the whole drawer is, with those fitting into the front and back. So that's all there is to this. Again, if you want to make multiple copies, you're going to duplicate the slide that's over here by Control-D or Command-D, depending on if you're on a Mac or a PC, or you can Control-click or right-click and duplicate slide, however you want to do that. One last thing I'm going to ask you to do before we finish this video up is to delete the extra things we don't need. So we filled out this wide drawer, and if you click on this other one that we didn't fill out, we don't need this here, and so we don't need to print this page. So when I click on it, you can see it's highlighted yellow. I just click delete on my keyboard and it goes away. And this top one that's going to have a video in there, you can go ahead and delete that as well. That way all you have are your items, and when you go to File, Print This, after everything's complete, then you'll just get your 2 pages that you need. However you want to do that. If you have any questions, please talk to your instructor and we'll get those answered.